We have some breaking news here. Donald Trump deploys National Guards to Memphis. So, according to reports, Trump recently announcement to deploy the National Guards to Memphis, Tennessee, has a series of questions regarding its legality necessary and potential impacts. The plan has generated significant controversies with a wide range of reactions from local states and federal officials. What is the legal base for the deployment? The Insurrection Act of 1807 provides the president with authority to deploy the military and federalize the National Guard under certain circumstances, such as suppressing civil disorders. However, the invocation of this act in cities have often sparked legal challenges regarding the limits of presidential powers. According to reports, County Mayor Lee Harris have indicated that the country is exploring legal options to block the deployment. It is the deployment supported by Memphis city's leadership. No Memphis Mayor Paul Young, a Democrat, has stated that he did not ask for the National Guards and believe it is not the right approach to reduce crime. He was certainly not happy about the announcements and the focus on ensuring local officials can influence the troops engaged in the communities. What is the role of Tennessee states, the leadership in contrast to Memphis city's officials? Republican Tennessee's Governor Bill Lee have welcomed the federal support and coordinated with the Trump administration. This creates a split between the state Republican leaders and Memphis local, predominantly Democratic leaderships. Is the deployment support by Memphis city leaderships? So it says, according to the reports, it says, and in contrast to Memphis city's officials, Republican Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has welcomed the federal support and is coordinated with the Trump administration to create the split between the state's Republican leaderships and Memphis local, predominant Democrat. It said the deployment justification is a point of contentions. The White House cited Memphis high crimes rank in 2024 to justify the actions. However, the Memphis Police Department report that in the first 8 months of 2025, overall crime was at 25 years low, and murder was at 6 years low. In addition to the National Guards, the plan involved other federal law enforcement agencies as part of the Memphis Safe Task Force agency from the FBI, ATF, DEA, and U.S. Marshals Service will also be sent to the cities. The reaction had been sharply divided alone. According to reports, the county Democratic Party has spoken out forcefully against the deployment, calling it an occupation and a stare tactic on Democrats. Meanwhile, Republican states officials have voiced supports. Public reactions is mixed and highly polarized. Many Democratic communities, activists, and civil rights and advocate express concerns that the military style's presidency is political theater rather than a genuine solution. They worry it could have chilling effects on residents exercising their freedom. Trump previously deployed the National Guards to Washington, D.C. in a similar anti-crime crackdown. The operates faced similar criticism, but was more easily justified due to D.C. federal status. A previous attempt to send the guards to Los Angeles in 2025 was ruled legal by the federal judge. The administration planned to appeal. According to reports, the deployment included the guard's role, location, and length of service remain uncertain. This embittery is a source of concern for local leaders and residents. According to report, Trump has indicated that Memphis is part of a large plan to address crime in cities, with Chicago mentioned as a possible next target. The administration is framing crime as a national emergency. Democrats are also unable to handle it, aiming, according to reports. Now, Trump deployed National Guards to Memphis. Now, let's go. Because if black people are going to continue to act this kind of way, y'all going to continue to kill yourself, take each other out, then you asking for Trump to send in the National Guards. Let's go.
Yep. Virtually no crime in D.C. right now, and we're going to keep it that way. It's our nation's capital. We're going to keep it that way, or we're going to federalize it if we had to, but we don't have to anymore because it's in such great shape. This task force will be a replica of our extraordinarily successful efforts here, and you'll see it's a lot of the same thing, although the numbers here are really something. They're really bad. Now, we did send FBI in about 4 months ago to work, and it brought some of the numbers down, and they did a great job, but we're sending in the big force now. We also sent them into Chicago on a...
See what I'm saying? They're not playing, man. Y'all want to aim guns and shoot each other, man, and kill each other. That's what black people are known to do, man. Y'all want to continue to do this, kill each other off. This is what they're doing. You giving them permission. You see, Trump had ordered Monday sending the National Guards into Memphis now to combat crimes, offer another major test of the limit of presidential power by using military force in American cities. You see, according to these reports, with Republican Tennessee Bill Lee visit the Oval Office, Trump troops will enjoy a special task force in the cities comprised of officials from various officials of federal agencies, according to the FBI, a drug enforcement administration. Now, you can play if you want to. Now, it says here, immigration, according to report, the enforcement of the U.S. Marshal services. So he says the goal will be to stamp out crime in a way that he says Senate and the National Guard, federalizing a local police force, has in Washington, D.C. So Trump is to send the drug enforcement administration, immigration, and custom enforcement, and the U.S. Marshal and services This task force will be, sent by Trump administration, and you will see it a lot of the same thing that he actually did in Washington D.C.
Moderate basis, and we brought down crime a little bit in Chicago, but we're now going to bring it down very big. We're going to be doing Chicago probably next. I was with a great businessman, a man who was involved in all cities through his business, and I say, who do you think should be next after Memphis? And he said, sir, you've got to save Chicago.
You're not going to believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative.
We're going to wait a little while. But he said, you got to save Chicago. You can't let it go. And this is a very prominent man that everybody knows. And it's from another man in Memphis was saying, Bill, he was saying, very interesting, he's on the board of FedEx. And his hotel is about a block away. And he said, when I walk...
You hear what the president say? He said, you gotta save Chicago. Because you got idiot black folks, you got these GDs, you got all this vice lord, all these people just aiming a gun at each other, shooting each other. You know how long that been going on? That it takes, and the minister have been warning you 40 years. It takes the National Guard, because Chicago gets got out of hand, y'all. And see Memphis is next up, man. See, you can play what you want to.
There, I said, I don't want to do this again. I never want to do it again. And they won't let me walk there. They take them in armored vehicles. They take the board members of FedEx in armored vehicles like a block away to the hotel. This shouldn't be the U.S. This shouldn't be the United States of America. The task force will be a replica, as I said, and it's going to be, I think, equally successful. This is a tremendous success we've had in Washington, I can tell you, and everyone knows it. People in the White House that work here and other people that I know are calling me and thanking me. They're going out to dinners and doing things that they haven't done in years. The effort will include the National Guard as well as the FBI, ATF, DEA, ICE, Homeland Security investigations, and the U.S. Marshals, and more along the prosecutors. We're going to have DOJ led by U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, who is here or not here. Who's that person here? That person is going to be very busy. So we're going to have U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, and most importantly, Pam Bodney's here. She's heading it up, and she's done an unbelievable job in every respect beyond this. So also worked with some of the members of the team right here on D.C., and we're very proud of that effort. We essentially had the crime down to a very low rate in 12 days, and within another 10 days after that, it was so incredible. And it continues at that level, and we're going to continue. We have to, because it's our capital. This team...
And see, this is Trump sending National Guards, more federal law enforcement to Memphis. See, Memphis is a town, y'all, that, I believe Dolph was killed. A lot of senseless killers you see in Memphis. So, according to reports in an address from the Oval Office on September 15, President Donald Trump officially announced plans to deploy National Guards along with a surge of federal law enforcement to Memphis. The task force, Trump said, will be a day of federal deployment seen in Washington, D.C. He said if we replicate of the federal deployment seen in Washington, D.C., a mixture of troops from the National Guard, agents from the FBI drug enforcement, of alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosive, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Homeland Security, and U.S. Marshal Service. And also will see more federal prosecutors in Memphis. Trump fully revealed plans came after a week of speculations, reporting that Memphis will be the next destination for National Guard troops. And September 12th, appearance on Fox News, Trump confirmed Memphis will see a deployment, but did not provide any details about when or how many troops will be deployed. Today, at the request, it says, according to reports, Government Bill Lee of Tennessee, who's standing with us, as you know, I'm signing a presidential to establish the Memphis Safe Task Force. Trump says during the September 15 press conference, it's very important because of the crimes that's going on, not only in Memphis and many cities. We are going to take care of all of them step by step. You see that? He's going to handle this situation. He's going to take care of. See, look, man. They got prosecution coming. They got the high prosecutor. So that way you can be either prosecuted. Yeah. You can play if you want to. But he's not playing in sending National Guards to Memphis. Now, a look at Trump controversial crime fighting efforts. He also left a question about who will be leading the troops in questions. National Guard troops, but for select circumstances cannot act as law enforcement. One of those exceptions is if they are led by a state governor. During the press conference, he says, the Tennessee National Guard will be deployed. Indication being that they will be under Lee commands. The presidential, signed by Trump, further says the troops will be deployed in such number for such duration as the government may deem necessary and appropriate to assist with the activities of the task force. Additional, the memo says Attorney General Pam Bondi and Homeland Security Secretary will be able to request such National Guard support as necessary and appropriate to accomplish this mission. Trump had called Memphis deeply troubled, saying crime is a problem that can only be solved by the intervention of the National Guard. He also said both Memphis Mayor Paul Young and Lee supported the move. During the September 15 press conference, he says crime in Memphis have gotten worse during the early parts of 2025 until a surge of federal agents came to Memphis. This, however, was not reflected in crimes statistics from the Memphis County Crimes Commission, which used the statistics from the Tennessees. Now, according to data from the Crime Commission, violent crimes have dropped 8.8% and property crime dropped 19.7% through the first 3 months of the year compared to the same time in 2024. Crime continued that downward trend through June this year, with violent crime being down 17.4% and property crime being down 22% compared to the first 6 months of 2024. Lee has said he was conscious communication with the Trump administration to develop a strategy plan to combat crime in Memphis, according to reports. Now let's go.
We'll deploy the full powers of federal law enforcement agencies and enforcement generally to restore public safety and get dangerous career criminals off of our streets. We're going to get them off. In 2024, Memphis had the highest violent crime rate, the highest property crime rate, and the third highest murder rate of any city in the nation. Other than that, they're doing quite well, thank you. A person is 4 times more likely to be murdered in Memphis, Tennessee today than in Mexico City. It's been, and you know Mexico City is not a cakewalk. It's been overrun with carjackings, robberies, shootings, and killings. There were 249 murders, 429 rapes, 5,616 burglaries, and 12,522 violent assaults in just the last little while in 2024 and in pieces of 2025, where it's actually gotten worse until recently when we sent the FBI down to see what the hell is going on.
Stop buying generic Viagra if you're over 60. You qualify for 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7 with free shipping.
Last month, a vicious thug carjacked an elderly woman parked at the movie theater, dragged her out of the car, and body slammed her into the pavement, where she is still trying to recover. Probably won't be successful. So we're not going to allow this kind of savagery to destroy our society anymore.
Hit that like button for me, you guys. It's 20 of you guys. Hit that like button. Share this video, man. Man. Crime just got extremely high, y'all. And, you know, killings happening everywhere, man. And Trump is not playing and sending in these National Guards and force, man. Special tasks, you know what I mean? To stop these crimes. So, guys, hit that like button for me, man. Don't cost you a thing, hit that like button. But yeah, man, we definitely got to get back into this video, man.
We're stopping it one by one time, but we want to go quickly. We don't want to lose Chicago. We're going to lose Chicago. We're going to lose places like, you go to St. Louis. We're going to lose St. Louis. We're not going to lose. We want to save these places. You're going to lose them. He was, the way the man said it, a very high quality man. I said, who would you do next? He said, sir, do Chicago. You don't want to lose Chicago. We're not going to lose Chicago. So we're going to have to go very big, and we're going to go probably, we're thinking about it for next man. We're going to hold it off. We're going to do some of the smaller ones. And the truth is, our people are so good. Gaddy, you're doing a great job wherever you may be. We're doing so good that I don't think we need too much practice, right? But we got to go and save our big cities, our great cities. Chicago's a great city, and we're going to make it great again very soon. And I think we can do that. Despite the tremendous size, I think we can do a real job, and we're going to give you the resources that you need. So with that, I'd like to just end by saying we're going to make Memphis safe again, and I'd like to ask Governor.
And you know what he mean by that? He gonna make, man, if he got to send National Guards to your home and crack things down, man. They come in the home to crack things down, man. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? You can play if you want to. You know what I mean? I'm starting to see that, you know what I mean, it's coming to a time. And you know what I mean? And it comes to a time in my life now where, you know what I mean, I love just being to myself now, because, you know, you're gonna find out who can you trust and who can you not trust. We in a world of society, man, you can't trust nobody out here, man. Black people killing. You got white crimes. You got police going, you know what I mean, killing. You know what I mean? Police going and, you know what I mean, doing a lot of unliving, you know what I mean, towards blacks. So it's a mess, man. But the problem we have where he's deploying National Guards into Memphis. Memphis is a city, very known city where high crimes, you know what I mean, happens. And Chicago the same way. So I say this, man, y'all can play you want to.
We'll leave to say a few words, and then Pam can talk, and anybody else you'd like to talk to, we'll go through the whole list. We have all day long if we have to, because this is a very important thing. We have to save our country from violent crime. So, Bill?
Yes, sir. Mr. President, first of all, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your commitment for federal resources to the great city of Memphis. And it is a great city. It has a great history and a great legacy. And we are very hopeful and excited about the prospect of moving that city forward. I've been in office 7 years. I'm tired of crime holding the great city of Memphis back. And I have spoken today with the director of the U.S. Marshals, with the director of the FBI, with General Bondi. We realize that this effort of multi-agencies that will combine the work of the Tennessee Highway Patrol and the local police departments, when we come together, we can make significant change in our city, in the city of Memphis, and that is a powerfully important thing for the state of Tennessee, and I want to say thank you.
This will be your proudest moment when we see you in 4 or 5 weeks, maybe sooner. You're going to see numbers that will drop and plummet like you haven't. Just like we did in D.C., they plummeted. Nobody can even believe it. And they're going to plummet. It'll be one of your really proud moments. You've done a good job.
And what happened? And what happened in Washington D.C. when it came to homeless? You know what I mean? When you see the encampment, man, them homeless people. There were so many arrests. You know what I mean? Their city mayor said that, yeah, we got, you know what I mean? We got somewhere to place them at. Where you gonna place all these people? But they got more jails. There was a lot of arrests made in Washington D.C. But you got this. You got the city of these mayors. It's their job where they're gonna place. You know what I mean? These homeless people. You know, there was a lot of arrests made, y'all, in Washington. But there was a lot of looting going on in Washington. There's a lot of looting going on in Chicago. A lot of these looters, and you can play if you want to. But you're giving them permission to bring in the National Guards. Yeah, I've been saying that, you know, our black people, they can play if they want to. Y'all can continue to kill each other and continue to just take each other's life, man. Continue to, you know what I mean, to kill each other. So that way, you know what I mean, you give them reason to bring in the National Guards. Just continue doing what you're doing. I've been saying they come with a mind to slaughter us. So if y'all want to continue to aim these guns at each other, continue this gun violence, you know what I mean? And see, it's too many people want to gang bang. That's the problem. Too many young, you know what I mean, these hoodlum thugs want to gang bang, man. Y'all still want to gang bang. Y'all don't want to put the gang banging, you know what I mean, down. Y'all, you know what I mean? It's like you see in every cities, you see there's a gang. You see activity goes on in every city, man. So we have a mess. We have a mess where people is struggling through poverty. So you gotta understand, we didn't bring in the guns or drugs, but it becomes a very problem. It has become a problem for a very long time. See, when you give them permission to send special tasks and heavy, you know what I mean, heavy, you know what I mean, FBI and ATF, you know what I mean, Homeland Security. See, all you doing is bringing it on you, on yourself. So don't start crying when they come into these major cities, man.
But this will be maybe your proudest moment. Thank you, sir.
And the director, as the director said, the goal is sustained.
Right. Gotta keep it.
Sustained crime lowering, and that with this effort, I believe we can get there. We can finally get there for that city.
Yep, we're gonna have it sustained a long time. And your people are gonna get better and better, and your police force has been terrific. They're working with us very much, as you know. We started it, as I said, on a little basis, and we got it down quite a bit, but now we go in for the big march, okay?
And Director Patel and his team have done remarkable work so far. As you know, the numbers are great, and this will be one more step in the right direction for Memphis.
That's true.
Thank you.
They did a very good job. Thank you very much. Pam, please.
President Trump, at your directive, we went in, as you know.
Exactly. These are old times. These remind me of old times, y'all. I go to reading the story of Joshua. See, whenever I want to just say this, whenever we going against a marking of the beast, see, we going against Goliath, the giant of the earth, which is America. We going against a giant, Goliath. So in the story of Joshua, you have two sons, Caleb. They, you know what I mean, they was not gonna go into the promised land because there was giants in the land. They didn't want to go into that kind of land because there's giants, and we can't stand against those giants. But God says, I'm gonna be amongst you, because those giants, they're not worthy. You see, the earth is the Lord and the fullness of it. And if He don't like you govern the earth, He's gonna move you off the earth, as He's doing today. So the problem I see is that this young generation, you know, is still doing the same thing. See, all this time we've been pointing the guns in the wrong direction. See, we've been pointing the guns on each other. And so, you know, in times like this, we have to understand who we are. See, understand who your brother. See, black people, they don't come to understand who the brother is. See, when it comes to the black, brown, red, yellow, there you have brothers. But we've been all wrapped up in the people He came to destroy. You see, some of us today, we will be willing to befriend our murderers. You see, some of us today is in love with the enemy. Some of us will go beyond marrying the enemy. So if God sends down His judgment on the enemy that you are in love with, you start saying, no, God, I can't go with you unless I bring white folks with me. Yes, this is you. Well, some of you say, well, the hell with you, God, I can't go with you unless I bring white folks with me. Yes, this is you. See, remind me of Abraham. See, when Abraham went to the angels and told the angels, will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? He said, well, go see, can you find 50? See, you find 50, I'll not spare the city. See, Abraham couldn't find 50. And he said, go see, can you bring 40? Then he said, well, go see, can you bring 30? Then he said, well, go see, can you bring one outside of Lot's and his family? If you can just bring me one, I'll spare the city. You see, God delays judgment so that the people that he has judged are not worthy of what they're about to get. And all of this time, our young black people, our people just been aiming the guns in the wrong direction. We haven't even united in a way. See, once you see the process start, see, enemy will be very furious of how he see a people unite. So it's going to be a time we brothers and sisters will have to get together for this spiritual feast. See, it ain't nothing good if you just to get up good and get good amongst each other. In such time like this. Now let's go.
All over to D.C. and took over the city of D.C., working hand in hand with Metro Transit Authority. All of the agencies represented here today got over 2,000 violent offenders, got over 200 guns off the streets of D.C., and D.C. is safe again. And now, Governor, working with you and working with our 2 U.S. senators and all of our agencies working hand in hand, we're going to do everything we can to make Memphis safe again. That was President Trump's directive to us, and it's easy to do when you're working with such great leaders. And Secretary No, you have been instrumental in this, and Director Patel has already been into Memphis and gotten so many violent offenders and guns off the street, and that's what started it. The Attorney General Todd Blanche, thank you. We've all been going nonstop, working hand in hand together, and Gowdy Serralta, Terry Cole, and Director Driscoll of ATF wearing 2 hats, and Pete Hegseth with the National Guard, all working hand in hand and being out there for a month. You can't tell who's with what agency but for the t-shirt they're wearing, because everyone's working hand in hand, and that's why we've been so successful. We're going to do that in Memphis, and we're going to get crime off the streets.
That's great. Thank you,
Thanks, President.
Christine, go ahead.
Mr. President, Memphis has a high number of trafficking, significant human traffickers, child exploitation, drug trafficking. The local gangs there are extremely dangerous, and I'm so excited that you're going in there to work with not just the governor and willing local leaders, but also our Attorney General and all the leaders that are standing here today to help protect our children. So what's going to change dramatically is the families' lives that live there, and it's only going to happen because of you, because you're coming in. What has started there, you're...
See, don't start crying, black folks, man. Don't start crying now when they, you know what I mean, when they come, you know what I mean, to the city, you know what I mean, near where you at. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's sad to see young, you know what I mean, you see young children. They live with death, man. Young black children, they live with this death, man. That's why young black children, they don't make it. And now you finding out that, you know what I mean, every family got to bury their loved ones. And this become an ongoing thing that you see families have to set up funeral arrangements. And this thing just be an ongoing thing. Another child's murder. You see this YN? Yeah, the young Negroes. There's you young Negroes out here acting a fool, killing each other, gang banging. You gang banging and the cheapest of principles, but you won't gang bang for the oppression of justice. But you retaliating because you see, well, I don't like, you know what I mean, the color this brother, you know what I mean, wearing. So you're not gang banging of an oppression of justice. Or you see, you're not retaliating over our oppression of justice. But you retaliating because you see your brother. He got that nice car. He got that nice girl. You know, I hate to see black people killing each other. You know how long that stuck? Do you actually know how long that stuck with us? You know, see, we knew in the early days who was the enemy. But in this early 2000s and on now, you see it's black people killing black people. You see it's black people robbing black people. It is you black people are killing each other on the cheapest of principles. The sad thing is, you're not fighting this oppressor. You're not fighting him of our oppression of justice. But you are killing your own people, which becomes a senseless thing. Most people kill their own brother. They go to a burger joint, go home, put in a movie, act like nothing happened, man. See, you a menace. See, when they said there's 3/5 of a human being, he's named you a 3/5 of a human being. He named you a beast and more to an entity. See, you're a menace to whom? To yourself and your kind. You become a menace to. The black man, he become a menace to society too. Now let's go.
Steroids, the networks that you're going to uncover across this country because of the work that's going to happen in Memphis. We're going to see every city get safer because we're going to see those ties to other criminals that we're going to get out of the country. So we're a nation of laws. And sir, thank you for caring about every single city.
Thank you, Christy. Really nice. And what makes it to me so exciting is the success we had here so quickly. And you know, we've taken close to 1,500 people out of D.C. But when I saw the result happen so quickly, and so many people are so thankful, and people that pass them every day and they're fine, all of a sudden they're thanking me so profusely. It was so exciting what's happened. It continues to be what happened in D.C. And so that's what makes this, I think, even more exciting, because we know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, this starting next year, y'all. Martial law is going to happen nationwide. They're going to do a crackdown nationwide, y'all. Starting in very 2026. I won't be surprised if they do a government shutdown, bring in a pandemic, send National Guards into these mega cities. And look how things gonna be, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now. Let me tell y'all how it's gonna be, man. Going into 2026, how things gonna be, man. They're gonna bring in the vaccine, and I'm telling you, in order for you to have this good job that they're gonna bring in, you're gonna have to have the mark. Yeah, you're gonna have to have the juju. Yeah, you're gonna have to get the juju. I'm telling y'all, man. In order for you to have this job, in order for you to feed your family, they're gonna push it all into the jobs. If they push it in carnivals and events, this make you think that they're gonna push it in the jobs. You know why? They're gonna think that anybody have COVID should be getting the vaccine. I'm telling you how they're gonna force this, man, and into the workforce, man. And most of y'all, man, I'm telling you, most of y'all are gonna be like, man, I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to do something. You know what I mean? You gonna have to do something. Because it becomes you have no choice. But I'm telling you, by all means, I'm not getting that shot, fam. My people figuring this out, man. I'm finna be on my YouTube like how everybody else gonna be on this YouTube, man. I'm finna figure everything out, man. Because the times, look, man, the times is short here, man. Anytime they come in, you know what I mean, to bring out this mark of the beast system, I'm telling y'all, we ain't gotta be frightened, man. We ain't gotta be frightened, man. But I'm telling y'all, man, what's coming in 2026 is gonna be crazy. You're gonna see a whole economic crash, y'all. While we looking at on our left, China and Russia gonna be looking on the right. There's still a Cold War with America and Russia. There's still that cold, you know what I mean, collision. Yes. Russia, America, you know what I mean? It's tensions already escalating, y'all. Case if you don't know, there's tensions already escalating, man. It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. Let's go.
We have the people. Look, we're sending in a lot of help. These cities have been taken over for years, and the last 4 years under Biden, what's happened is just a disgrace. So it really has, the success we've had here has made it to me much more exciting, because I think we're going to have proportionally. I mean, you have cases where it's even worse. I have some people, we have some people quoted today that we took out of papers. We're so grateful for the National Guard coming. Said an owner of a Memphis tax service, it's so dangerous here. It's so darn dangerous that you can't get out of your car. If you get out of your car, he says you get robbed, you get mugged, you get hit. can't go to the market or a service station. So yeah, I want to see crime stop, but I want to see the National Guard come in right away if that's what's necessary. There's a need. Here's another one from a director of a Memphis-based crime prevention organization. There's a need for more boots on the ground. You have to get them done fast before we totally lose it. They're going to lose it all. I got 2 guns put in my face, then another within 5 minutes at 2 different locations. He said, I got a gun put in my face, then I went someplace else, had another gun put in my face. I was scared. It never happened to me. I've never seen anything like it. Here's another one. I honestly thought he was going to kill me. Said a 60-year-old Memphis carjacking victim. A man walked up, give me your car. You got 5 seconds to get out or you're dead. This is what we have in this page after page of the same kind of thing. Cash, would you say a few words, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks to your brilliant foresight, you had asked us to go quietly into these cities to help set the landscape, to work with the interagency, and to make America safe again. And we've done that under the FBI's banner program of Operation Summer Heat. And the results are only as good as the prosecutions. And because the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General have mobilized DOJ to successfully prosecute so many violent criminals, we've set the landscape for the interagency to come into Memphis and really make it safe permanently. As the governor and the senators and the other directors were saying, it's not a short-term mission, but thanks to you launching us early, launching us quietly, not looking for the credit, Mr. President, we greatly appreciate your support and the advanced foresight you had doing that.
It's so exciting, and somebody had to do this. A president should have stepped up long ago and saved these cities. So it's not that I wanted to do it, believe me. Somebody had to do it, and we're doing it in a big way. Pete, could you say a few words?
Yes, Mr. President. From day one, the DOW, the Department of War,
I'm glad you made that correct.
has been proud.
Yeah, they want to make the streets, you know what I mean, safe again, man. If black people keep doing dumb things, man, y'all keep killing y'all, you know what I mean, yourselves, man. Killing each other, putting that gun on each other and killing each other off, you know what I mean? Look, man, y'all just giving them permission, man. Y'all giving them permission to go into these cities, man. Look, man, they just said Memphis have a high sex trafficking. They about to go in Memphis. I want to say Memphis worse than Chicago. They about to go to Memphis and street things up, man. They're not playing. They're not playing. Now you can play if you want to. They're not playing.
Stand with our partners across the interagency, whether it's the Southwest border, whether it was Los Angeles getting ahead of that, whether it's right here in Washington, D.C., where Secretary Driscoll and the Army and the National Guard have taken the lead in helping across all of these great folks to secure the city. We are very proud to be here to stand strong alongside law enforcement. We're glad that Memphis is the place to go. The volunteer state, we're not going to have any problems with the Tennessee National Guard. That's willing to go in and stand strong.
Not at all. Get ready because you'll be doing a lot of other places that are almost as troubled. Some of them are equal. You look at what's going on in Baltimore, where the governor was telling me how wonderful it is, and you can't walk across the street without being shot. Could I ask our 2 great senators to say a few words?
Of course, Mr. President, thank you so much. I want to say a thank you to Director Patel because he had promised that he would come into Memphis. We've had Operation Viper there this summer. There have been over 500 arrests. There are over 100 indictments. And Memphis had the best stats they have had in years this past August. Last month, it was the best August they have had. It's because of the work that's been done. And now to have a new phase of this enforcement for Memphis, where we are going to have all of these agencies working as a team, as the governor said, making certain that this is a long-term effort to make Memphis safe again. Mr. President, we are so grateful and we thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. President. And this is an issue that's plagued Memphis since I was a boy, Mr. President. And it's time that we address it, and I appreciate your leadership allowing us to do that. And the team that you've assembled here is going to help us deliver the most fundamental responsibility of our government, and that's public safety. This shouldn't be a partisan issue. This should be something that is our primary goal. And certainly I hope to see Memphis become the safest city in America. And thanks for the effort of all.
Look, Memphis, I'm gonna tell you like this. Memphis have a high rate of trafficking. You know what I mean? Drug trafficking, they trafficking young teens. Memphis is in trouble. If you are in Memphis and hearing this, and man, I suggest you know what I mean, get out of Memphis. You know what I mean? Because Memphis, Tennessee, man, I'm telling y'all, man. One thing that they don't play is trafficking. So they coming into Memphis. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all what they finna do, man. They finna come to Memphis. They got these special task force. They got ATF, man. They got the CIA, Homeland Security. They're not playing, y'all. And they sending in heavy military. They sitting in heavy task force. So y'all tell you what's gonna happen in Memphis, man. 2026 is gonna be a crackdown nationwide, man. In the very beginning of 2000, I'm telling y'all, man. Let's go.
Of your team here to make certain that happens. Thank you, Governor Lee, and I want to say thanks to the Memphis Police Department and the Sheriff's Department there too, who all worked closely to bring this together. I look forward to tremendous results.
And I want to thank the FBI for the last 4 or 5 months, because they have brought down the numbers quite a bit in Chicago here and a couple of other places that we can talk about later if anybody wants to. Could I ask you to, Mr. Getty, to have a couple of words also? You really did lead the charge here. You've done such a great job. Please.
Mr. President, thank you for always supporting law enforcement. I think the major difference here in Washington, D.C. has been your support for law enforcement, has been empowering the men and women that are on the street working every single day. And I look forward to not only going to Memphis, but other places in Tennessee as well. And I think you'll hear from us real soon, Mr. President. Thank you for your support, sir.
Places.
Yes, sir, we do.
You know the country very well. That's great. Thank you, Jerry. Thanks, Ken.
President, I just want to say that we're honored once again to lead the charge with the United States Marshals Service, leading and joining 22 other federal agencies. I can say that today we spoke with over 30 of the local agencies, letting them know what to expect, giving them the template that we've done here in D.C. So they know what to expect. They're extremely excited. I think everyone is going to be well receiving the law enforcement surge that we're about to take to Memphis.
Great job.
Thank you.
And I'm going to ask one of the best lawyers in the country. He is one of the best. God, say a few words. He is a great lawyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, look, I think it's been said for the past 15 minutes, the president ran on making this country safe again, and we do not make this country safe again unless we go into our cities where there's the most violent among us and go street by street and block by block and arrest the men and women in this country that are destroying cities and communities for the rest of us. And so what we plan on doing, as the governor said and the senator just said, this has been a problem in Memphis for a long time. We plan on delivering Memphis back to the citizens that are there to raise their families, to go to church, to be in their communities. That's our goal, and that's what we plan on doing, whether it takes 2 weeks or 2 years. That's what we're going to do.
Thanks, Tom. The great Stephen Miller, please say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. President.
What motion you doing, tell us. That's hard to do. I think it's going to be hard to do.
President Trump's initiative here in Washington, D.C., is important to understand, is the most successful anti-crime initiative in American history. But just think about it for a second. In In 30 days, President Trump put together a team that saw the largest ever violent crime reduction in any city in American history. Something that people had not been able to do in 40 years. That is a momentous achievement. And now the president is going to take that same model to Memphis, and as he said, more cities after that. The team the president has put together has no equal today or anywhere in American history. I think what's happening here is that what the president has done is made clear the power of federal law enforcement that was used for the last 4 years to harass and attack conservatives, to harass and attack Christians, to go after law-abiding families. The power of law enforcement under President Trump is going to be used to get all the criminals, all the violent offenders, all the murderers, all the cartels, and all the domestic terrorists off our streets. So whether you're Antifa, whether you're a domestic terrorist, whether you are a violent gang member, a drug trafficker, a trained Nicaragua killer, or anyone else that's threatening our people, President Trump is saying he's going to use his FBI, his DOD, his ATF, his DEA.
You see what he's saying? He's going to use all his special task force, right? Because Trump is putting it out there that he's president of the United States and you can't do anything to me and I'm going to do whatever I want. And they putting it in your face what they going to do, man. They putting it right in your faces what they going to do, man. Let's go.
To wipe you out, to put you in behind bars, to take you off the street, or to apply whatever legal consequences necessary. Mr. President, I'm honored beyond words to be a part of this team under your leadership as you've saved thousands of lives.
Thank you very much. Come on over. Let's sign that bill. You want to say anything about our great military defense? What a job he's doing. This guy.
Mr. President, so our Army National Guard is honored to be part of this mission. This is their community. A lot of them are from D.C., they're from Tennessee. When you talk to them, when you talk to the actual population out there who interact with them every day, they say it's a blessing to have them as a part of their life. And then for the National Guard getting to have this where they get to improve their communities, or their kids are growing up and they're going to church, and this is where their families are. Many of them, sir, have said this is the honor of their lifetime, so thank you.
Look at that nice face. Again, he's a killer. Nice, beautiful face. He's a total killer. I don't know how you do it, huh? Loves you great. Everybody here is all right, here we go.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You know, this from him signing that. See, and see, you gotta understand how Congress and the senators are. They all work together. I'm telling you, man, whenever y'all get permission for these people to sign bills and things, you know what I mean? It's like, don't start crying, man, when they start sitting in these special, you know what I mean, task force. And don't start crying. We gotta move different, fam. We gotta start moving different. Because they coming, you know what I mean? They coming to, you know what I mean, dehumanize us, man. They coming to resegregate things. And we don't have an army like what they have. But we got a God, but we got to get ourselves right. Our people out there killing, robbing, looting. That gives them proper cause to come in. That give them proper cause to make arrests. They're giving proper costs in, you know what I mean, that the ATF and CIA, you know what I mean, Homeland Security, FBI, and you know what I mean, the prosecutors. You're giving them a leeway. Let's go.
Trump has a new target for his National Guard crackdown, Memphis, Tennessee. In an appearance yesterday on Fox and Friends, Trump suggested both Memphis Mayor Paul Young and a Democrat and Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, a Republican, are on board with this decision. Memphis Mayor Paul Young appeared last night on the weeknight, where he had this to say about Trump's announcement of a military presence in his city.
Do you want the National Guard in your city?
No, we definitely want a partnership with the federal government on providing the resources that we need. We have seen significant reduction in crime over the last 2 years, and we want to keep that trend going.
Pretty clearly, he does not want them there. Joining us now, Tennessee Congressman Steve Cohen and Tennessee State Senator London Lamar, who have both said sending in the National Guard won't help Memphis in the long term. Congressman, I want to start with you. One of the interesting things about this, President Trump picking Memphis is you have red state governor, blue state mayor. We haven't seen that yet in the other cities that he has kind of threatened with the National Guard. The governor has been there for 7 years. He seems on board with this. But you have the blue state mayor who seems a little bit more apprehensive and frankly kind of under duress. I was on the weeknight last night. He seems like he's under duress. How are the folks in Memphis kind of taking this in?
I think most of the Democrats are against it, and most of the Republicans, MAGA Republicans, are for it. And then the small percentage of thinking progressive Republicans are against it too. It comes down to the old problems we've had in the South of racial politics. And the governor is a Republican. He's a long way from Memphis. The national establishment has always kind of thought of Memphis as being part of Mississippi, which might be a nice way of saying it's a black city and we don't care about it. They've made disparaging remarks about Memphis for years. The governor went along with it. The mayor's not for it. Having the National Guard here is unnecessary, and it is a stunt. It's just a Trump show to show his power and his force. It's just like that picture that we see when we go to the embassies around the world, and it's Trump looking at you in a mean way with a scowl, and that's what he wants to be known as. And I think this may be the first representation of us changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War, because he likes to put the National Guard in his direction as his being the.
You see how a beast he shows his aggression. You know what I mean? He prowls. You know what I mean? This is why when a beast comes, you know what I mean, he seeks after his prey. See that's the nature of a beast. A beast has no remorse, nor sympathy. They send in heavy task force. I'm telling you, what's going to happen in Memphis? This, as you seen what happened in Chicago. I'm telling you, they come with a mind, man. They coming with an army, and you don't got the army what they coming with, man. You see this violence in America? How America turned and started this, you know what I mean? Fighting with American people now. Now they saying there is a lot of things going on in America. You know what I mean? Through the Biden administration. There's a lot of Venezuelans. You got a lot of people here, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say it like that, man. There's a lot of people here, man. There's a lot of criminals. There's a lot of rapists, serial killers. You got the whole shebang. You got everything here, man. Drug dealers. You know what I mean? It's just you see the whole nine. And they coming back when they say they coming back to take back the streets, make the streets safe again. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all what's going to happen. Yeah, y'all just keep this kind of stuff up, man. Just keep this kind of stuff up. You see it within a matter of time. You're gonna read about how many arrests been made, how many. You'll probably read how many people been killed. Gonna get crazy, y'all. Times we live in is going to get this crazy. That's all I gotta say to you, man. We living at an end, and times this getting crazy out here. The end is near, and things is really getting real tense, getting crazy. And that's all I'm going to say to you, fam. Times here is getting short. That's why you see the term has reached. You see what happening. You seeing what Trump is doing. You seeing what's happening. You seen the mayors of the city. They don't want Trump bringing in National Guards. Let's go.
Great warrior into cities and go into war. And that's the way he looks at it. So this is the Department of War, and that's against everything that this country stands for, having a militarized police force. We're supposed to have a civilian police force, and the military is not supposed to participate. And this is really going too far, but it's when Trump takes everything too far. And I think Senator Lamar, who I'm proud to see on here with me, she's my former intern. She's come a long way. And she made a great statement on this, and she understands it. There are basic underlying problems that need to be cured, and just sending some folks down here for 2 months doesn't make the difference. And those of you who live in Washington, like I do part-time, the 2 months that they had the National Guard and troops in Washington, it didn't make that much difference. So when they leave, he's going to be back to the same thing. It's Mayor Bowser and the police department, and they can have some help from the federal government, but not have those people on the streets. Washington did not become overnight the most safe city in the world.
Senator Lamar, I want to get you in here because Memphis is part of your district. But before I get your reaction to what's going on, let's play what Mayor Young had to say about crime in Memphis. He lists some statistics here. Watch this.
I want to note that we have been making progress as a city on reducing crime. 13% overall reduction in crime in 2024, 19% reduction in violent crime, 29% reduction in murders, 37% reduction in car thefts, and that's in 2024. And on 2025, we're on pace to beat those numbers.
And so, Senator Lamar, y'all don't need the National Guard, do you?
We don't need the National Guard. Listen, here in Memphis, Tennessee, we need to allow our local leaders to continue doing the work that they're doing in order to make our communities safer. And we are at a 25-year low when it comes to murders, a 6-year low when it comes to robbery. So we are making good progress when it comes to creating a safer community. See, the problem with this is that the Trump administration, Republicans, truly cared about making communities safe. They will give us back the $800 million in crime prevention grants that the Trump administration cut in April. So what we need to do is continue to invest in the strategies that are working, invest in our local leaders, not militarize our National Guards to now become law enforcement officers.
What we need to do is continue to invest in local policing, and what we need to do is allow our local leaders to lead the way when it comes to making Memphis safe. Look, Memphis is experiencing crime challenges just like all major cities across the United States because our Republican legislators in the Trump administration refuse to invest in adequate health care, affordable housing, increasing wages, all the determining factors of crime. And when you have a black city like Memphis that has been disinvested in for decades and decades, no wonder there are challenges when it comes to public safety. But make no mistake, this decision is a short-term band-aid effect on trying to fight crime. If we really want to get to the meat and potatoes of this issue, send all federal resources down to improve programming for children, to improve healthcare access, to bring more affordable housing. But don't just bring the military in. That's not going to make any real impact on anybody's lives, but scare them for a couple of weeks.
And she definitely making a point there, y'all. Don't bring in these National Guards into these, cities, man. Fix the big issue. Excuse me. We have, bring back, bring back FEMA from natural disaster. The people losing their homes. You know what I mean? And bring back the, the public assistance for a lot of homeless people that's out there, because when it comes to the city of the, the mayors that's in the cities, they have a responsibility as being mayor of the cities when it comes to encampment, when it comes to homelessness in the streets. This, find a solution to the problems. You have the city mayor saying that we can fix our city. They believe they can fix this issue. There's no need, for Trump sending National Guards, because they can fix the issue they have. But the issue we have, my brothers and sisters, is that, once, Trump wanted to send in special task force, they want to dehumanize a population. Memphis is a city where you see trafficking. They see it's very so high, and Memphis has problems with, drug trafficking. You see, and trafficking with underage minors. So Memphis become a big issue where they got to start tackling down that city. Let's go.
Congressman Cohen, I want to push back a little bit on something you said, that Democrats are against these military deployments and Republicans are for them. But there is one outlier in what you mentioned, which is the fact that D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser, essentially credited and applauded the Trump administration's work in Washington, D.C., said that they had been successful in tamping down crime and welcomed them to sort of stay in Washington indefinitely. Obviously, D.C. is a little bit different than the average city. There are some political factors here that she's dealing with. The city is uniquely vulnerable to federal incursion. But is there anything that you think that Democrats can take away from her messaging, especially with crime and public safety at the top of the list for a lot of Democratic voters and constituencies?
Well, I know Mary Young had talked to Mayor Bowser to get her thoughts about it, and a lot of what I read that the federal troops did was cleaning up debris, which is fine, and they could do that. There's a blight in the city, and they can help with some backroom stuff on some administrative work. But I don't think Mayor Bowser wants the National Guard to stay there and do police work. And I don't know, the DEA, maybe the FBI, yes, the AFT, yes. There could be some forces like that are trained as police officers. The National Guard is not trained as police officers, and they were fish out of water. and standing around Union Station or standing around the mall was not, it didn't help particularly. And I don't know that it helped that much. What I read about, of course, the papers only report so much, was a lot of the crime was small crime. Guys smoking marijuana on the corner at Logan Circle, and then another person drinking alcohol out of a cup. And they brought in ICE, and they did a lot of ICE. I'm not sure what major crimes that they did, but certainly they didn't change Washington from what crime problem that Trump described about 2 months ago as being awful and all this stuff, to where after he had his meal at Joe Stone Crabs, he said it's the safest city in the world. Well, and after he takes the National Guard out of Memphis, I want him to come here and say Memphis is the safest city in the world, and Memphis is safe, and David Cohn is still walking in Memphis.
State Senator Lamar, before we let you both go, the governor of your state has been there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 7 years. They have done some things about crime in Memphis, but it didn't seem like it was this humongous deal that the military needed to come in last month or the months before that. So talk through kind of how you and others are viewing his role in kind of teaming up with President Trump in what Congressman Cohen called a stunt.
Well, the sad part about it is the Republican administration in Tennessee is not going to push back on Trump. Anything he says goes. They are just going to follow everything he says. So I had no hope that our governor would push back on Trump's idea of bringing the military into Memphis, because much of everything else when it comes to Project 2025 that Trump has proposed, Tennessee Republicans have implemented. Alongside, under these last 7 years, they have taken back gun laws. They have let guns flood the streets, have loosened gun laws, and what you've seen was an uptick in crime. So what I would say, under the last 15 years of Republican control, our community have gotten more unsafe. Guns are the leading cause of death for children in Tennessee, and it isn't because...
And look, I agree 100% with what the sister is saying. You had 2 black legislators that was expelled. You know what I mean? Black lawmakers was expelled because of what they actually believed in. You had GOB, You had GOB, people like Mitch McConnell. Just for the simple fact, I want to say, they say black people was treated equally. But when it comes to these gun laws, when it comes to the Second Amendment, you see the gun laws, have been put up in front of the Senate for 2 years. They didn't bother to do anything when it comes to the gun laws, you see. That's why you start seeing these killings that's been like happening. And every time we address the killings, things that have been happening, this has become just a ongoing political issue where it haven't been solved. So I can strongly agree with the sister saying there. We had 2 legislators. We had actually 2 lawmakers was expelled. Tennessee lawmakers was expelled from Republican. It's sad to see that. Let's go.
Multiple HBCUs have been under a lot.
Trump has a new target for his National Guard.
Hauser to get her thoughts about it, and a lot of what I read that the federal troops did was cleaning up debris, which is fine, and they could.
You and others are viewing his role in kind of teaming up with President Trump in what Congressman Cohen called a stunt?
Well, the sad part about it is the Republican administration in Tennessee is not going to push back on Trump. Anything he says goes. They are just going to follow everything he says. So I had no hope that our governor would push back on Trump's idea of bringing the military into Memphis, because much of everything else when it comes to Project 2025 that Trump has proposed, Tennessee Republicans have implemented. Alongside, under these last 7 years, they have taken back gun laws. They have let guns flood the streets, have loosened gun laws, and what you've seen was an uptick in crime. So what I would say, under the last 15 years of Republican control, our community have gotten more unsafe. Guns are the leading cause of death for children in Tennessee, and it isn't because we have done so much to be tough on crime. It is because we have loosened laws around guns and making our communities unsafe and not investing in education, affordable housing, and other indicators of a good life. And what you're seeing is a political stunt around messaging that this is a crime-ridden city of people that don't want to work or who are committing crimes, and it's just untrue. Memphis is an amazing city. Memphis has a history of Martin Luther King, of justice, of fighting, and that is what we're going to show America with Trump sending the National Guard. This is not going to break us. This is going to make our city stronger, and we're going to show you how to lead in a time where the world thinks that we are just going to fall to the Trump administration. We're going to truly show our strength in this moment. We're going to show that to the governor, to the Republicans, and to the Trump administration. We are ready to work.
All right, you guys, for more content, please stay subscribed. Thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely we're going to be back with more content. Please subscribe to the channel. Share this video. We out.
Say it's what's on the inside that matters.